Leviticus chapter 5. Sins required a sin offering. If you are called and testified about something you have seen or that you know about, it is sinful to refuse to testify, and you will be punished for your sin. Or suppose you unknowing touch something that is ceremonially unclean, such as the carcass of an unclean animal. When you realize what you have done, you must admit your defilement and your guilt. This is true whether it is a wild animal, a domestic animal, or an animal that scurries along the ground. Or suppose you unknowingly touch something that makes a person unclean. When you realize what you have done, you must admit your guilt. Or suppose you make a foolish vow of any kind, whether its purpose is good or for bad. When you realize its foolishness, you must admit your guilt. When you become aware of your guilt in any of this way, you must confess your sin. Then you must bring to the Lord as a penalty for your sin a female from the flock, either a sheep or a goat. This is a sin offering with which the priest will purify you from your sin, making you right with the Lord. But if you cannot afford to bring a sheep, you may bring to the Lord two turtle dove or two young pigeons as a penalty for your sin. One of the bird will be for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. You must bring them to the priest, who will present the first bird as a sin offering. He will wring its neck, but without severing its head from the body. Then he will sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering against the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood will be drained out at the base of the altar. This is an offering for sin. The priest would then prepare the second bird as a burnt offering, following all the procedures that have been prescribed. Through this process, the priest will purify you from your sin, making you right with the Lord, and you will be forgiven. If you cannot afford to bring two turtle dove or two young pigeons, you may bring the 2/4 of choice flour for your sin offering. Since it is an offering for sin, you must not moisten it with olive oil or put any frankincense on it. Take flour to the priest, who will scoop out a handful as a representative portion. He will burn it on the altar on the top of the special gift presented to the Lord. It is an offering for sin. Through this process, the priest will purify those who are guilty of any of this sin, make them right with the Lord, and they will be forgiven. The rest of the flour will belong to the priest, just as with the grain offering. Procedures for the guilt offering. Then the Lord said to Moses, if one of you commit a sin by unintentional defining the Lord's sacred property, you must bring a guilt offering to the Lord. The offering must be your own ram with no defects, or you may buy one of equal value of silver as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. You must make restitution for the sacred property you have harmed by paying for the loss, plus an addition 20%. When you give the payment to the priest, he will purify you with the ram sacrifice as a guilt offering, make you right with the Lord, and you will be forgiven. Suppose you sin by violating one of the Lord's commands. Even if you are unaware of what you have done, you are guilty and will be punished for your sin. For a guilt offering, you must bring to the priest your own ram with no defects, or you may buy one of equal value. Through this process, the priest will purify you from your unintentional sin, making you right with the Lord, and you will be forgiven. This is a guilt offering, for you have been guilty of an offense against the Lord. Chapter 6. Sins required a guilt offering. Then the Lord said to Moses, suppose one of your sins against your associate and is unfaithful to the Lord. Suppose you cheat in a deal involving a security deposit, or you steal or commit fraud, or you found lost property and lie about it, or you lied while swearing to tell the truth, or you commit any other such sin, if you have sinned in any of this way, you are guilty. You must give back whatever you stole, or the money you took by extortion, or the security deposit, or the lost property you found, or anything obtained by swearing falsely. You must make restitution by paying the full price plus an addition 20% to the person you have harmed. On the same day, you must present a guilt offering as a guilt offering to the Lord. You must bring to the priest your own ram with no defects, or you may buy one of equal value. Through this process, the priest will purify you before the Lord, making you right with him, and you will be forgiven for any of this sin you have committed. Further instruction for the burnt offering. Then the Lord said to Moses, give Aaron and his son the following instruction regarding the burnt offering. The burnt offering must be left on the top of the altar until the next morning, and the fire on the altar must be kept burning all night. In the morning, after the priest on duty has put on his official lined clothing and lined undergarment, he must clean out the ashes of the burnt offering and put them beside the altar. Then he must take off this garment, change back into his regular clothes, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a place that is ceremony clean. Meanwhile, the fire on the altar must be kept burning. It must never go out. Each morning the priest will add fresh wood to the fire and arrange the burnt offering on it. He will then burn the fat of the peace offering on it. Remember, the fire must be kept burning on the altar at all times. It must never go out. Further instruction for the grain offering. These are the instructions regarding the grain offering. Aaron's son must present this offering to the Lord in front of the altar. The priest on duty will take from the grain offering a handful of the choice flour, moistened with olive oil, together with all the frankincense. He will burn this representative portion on the altar as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Aaron and his son may eat the rest of the flour, but it must be baked without yeast and eaten in a sacred place with the courtyard of the tabernacle. Remember, it must never be prepared with yeast. I've given it to the priest as the share of the special gift represented to me, like the sin offering. The guilty offering is most holy. Any of Aaron's male descendants may eat from the special gift presented to the Lord. This is the permanent right from generation to generation. Anyone or anything that touched this offering will become holy. Procedure for the ordination offering. Then the Lord said to Moses, on the day Aaron and his son are anointed, they must present to the Lord that standard grain offering of 2/4 of the choice flour, half to be offered in the morning and half to be offered in the evening. It must be carefully mixed with olive oil and cooked on a griddle. Then slice this grain offering and present it as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. In each generation, the high priest who succeeds Aaron must prepare this same offering. It belongs to the Lord and must be burned up completely. This is a permanent law. All such great offering of a priest must be burned up entirely. None of it may be eaten. Further instruction for the sin offering. Then the Lord said to Moses, give Aaron and his son the following instruction regarding the sin offering. The animal given as an offering for sin is a most holy offering, and it must be slaughtered in the Lord's presence at the place where the burnt offering are slaughtered. The priest who offers the sacrifice as a sin offering must eat his portion in a sacred place within the courtyard of the tabernacle. Anyone or anything that touches the sacrificial meat will become holy. If any of the sacrificial blood spattered on a person's clothes, the soiled garment must be washed in a sacred place. If a clay pot is used to boil the sacrificial meat, it must then be broken. If a bronze pot is used, it must be soured and sorrowful reasoned with water. Any male from the priest's family may eat from this offering. It is most holy, but the offering for sin must be not be eaten if the blood was brought into the tabernacle as an offering for purification in the holy place. It must be completely burnt with fire. Okay, so these two chapters is continuing talking about the detail about the sin offering and the ordination offering, and every detail Moses guided Israel people, and Israel people must follow. And then later have a more further instruction for the guilt offering. I think that is most important offering because human being, this one is remind us human being are not perfect. We always have some sin, and how we can make right in God's eyes. That is very important. All right, so that is today's Bible learning. Hope everybody like it. God bless you, everyone. Let's see you tomorrow.